thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. What you gonna do, brother? Man, what a week. What a week, everybody. Glad to see you all here. Welcome to your EBN. We are so glad to get this show on the road. I'm here, by the way, just in honor of my main man that just passed away today. A lot of us grew up to this guy. I would say he was a pillar of the 1980s and 90s for many of us. Him being Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I mean, I could go back and just rewatch all of that run in WCW. I am not here to talk about the bad when it comes to any of these individuals' deaths. So we want to pay homage and respect to those people. If you feel so inclined to talk about the ugly, I would politely say, don't do that here. And you're more than welcome to do that. Just you go to your channel and you do that there. I'm not going to do that here, and I'm not going to get into a pissing contest about racist and all of these other things. We're not doing that, and we're probably not going to agree on those things. I digress. Thank you so much for being here at EBN. Tonight's agenda, as always, we discuss the highs and the lows of our favorite entertainment together with you, as we also dip our toes into some nostalgia. There are 4 ways that you could help us out here on the channel if you like to, especially with all of our Rachel Zegler content. You can join us over on our channel memberships. Got 4 different levels and all kinds of things that have been revamped over there. We're very excited about it. Also, you can join us on Patreon. Nick is finally finding his way home this weekend, and Patreon will be back up and running, and I say you just give him a hard time until you start seeing uploads, because yeah. And then you could super chat. We'd appreciate that support to the channel as well, but most importantly, just being here, we greatly appreciate that. We do have a members watch party coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that. Got to talk to Nick and get all of that ironed out, and then we will make that announcement. So you will be able to join us over on our Discord, and we'll watch a movie together and do something with it. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our 2 co-hosts for tonight. Obviously, Risman. Hello, Risman. You're muted. In the spirit of Nick, you're muted.
I don't know why that would be. Hello there.
That's so crazy. Like, in the spirit of Nick. Nick is always muted when he first comes on a stream. On any stream.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
So, very, very good there. I like your shirt there. Death Star. What does it say in the fine print? Star Wars?
Yeah. In the back, it's got a little schematic of Death Star 1.
And our friend with the bad leg returns to us. Let's see how he sounds. Knee-Pain.
Check.
Yeah, you sound good.
Check.
You sound good.
Okay, good.
You're not in the lair tonight.
No, not right now. Didn't know if I could make it. We had a global Starlink outage worldwide. Starlink's been down for many people, so it's been an interesting day.
Yep, sounds like it, man. Well, guys, I want to say welcome to everybody in chat. Let me just quickly run through and Give everybody a hello. We got Venger in the house. We also have John Riley with us. Green Lantern 345. Angelina Serini is here. Donna Hergenrither is here. Matt Rissman is here. Mattuine is here. Debbie Young is also here with us. Lombardi 1969, if I didn't say that already. Rebecca Seelinger is here. What's up, Becky? Brogu is here. Thank you, Brogu. Glad to have you as always. Legion of Maul also in the house. Let's see here. We also have with us D Spirit. Well, let me tell you something, brother. What you gonna do? Oh yeah, that's a good one. Star Wars Mom is in the house. What is going on? Good to see you. Johnny Gonzalez here with us as well. We also have tonight here at the channel. I'm looking for the next person. Blazer Hawk Darren, what is going on, my friend? Good to see you. Sodak Chopper is here. What is up? Good to see you. And I think that's about everybody that I have not seen at the moment. If you are wondering where Nick is at, he is tied up with a work project. He said that he actually called me and told me this time instead of just leaving us hanging out there in the galaxy. So we appreciate that. So Nick will be joining us as soon as he is able to finish that project and join us here. Mattuine sends in a member chat. Farewell to the icons of the 80s and beyond. Some core foundations to my childhood. You know, I've never one single time thought one day Hulk Hogan's going to die. That's just not a thought I've ever had. You know, and you see all these posts today and all these images of him in the ring, and you see these signs up in the audience, and it says, Hulkamania is immortal. Hulkamania forever. You know, and now he's gone. Very, very sad about it. Like, that I cannot stand that whole, you know what they say, they come in threes. Well, now more people have passed away. You know, it started, 2 days ago now with Malcolm-Jamal Warner of The Cosby Show. Great actor. Seemed like a very good guy. Iconic 80s character. No doubt about it. And then the next day, Ozzy Osbourne passes away. We didn't know that his farewell tour concert was a real farewell concert.
Yeah, and there was clips of him, like I think the last song was that "Mom, I'm Coming Home," and you know he had to sit the whole concert; he couldn't stand.
Yeah, exactly.
It made it even more emotional to watch.
And his daughter posted a video of him listening to music at their kitchen table 2 days ago, or 2 days before his death. You know. Super, super sad, but I'm going to tell you guys, Hulk Hogan dying is the one that hit me the worst. Yeah, not just like because I was a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Wrestling. I would say I was a little bit more than a casual fan, but I wasn't one of these hardcore, you know, but I did watch, especially as a kid in the late 80s for me, and his entire run through WCW. And then his return. I'll tell you, one of my favorite moments in sports entertainment history is his return to WWE in 2002. If you go back and watch that, when they first started playing Voodoo Child, and then he walks out there, that entire sold-out arena lost its ever-loving mind. Like, they're bowing down. They're so excited. It was just magic. It was just magic.
Yeah.
You were about to say something, Deepain?
I may have lost him.
Yeah, we'll go to you instead.
No, I was telling you before we started, you know, he was out promoting his beer. And he was here just 5 minutes away, walking distance, selling his beer. It must have been, maybe it was last month. It was right around the 4th of July. It's been very recent that he was here, and I thought about going because, of course, he was signing anything, and he was there selling cases of beer, of course. Didn't do it. Now I kind of regret. Now I kind of, I mean, there was people did go, obviously, but that would have been the ideal time to see him. I think I met him many years ago when I was still living in Charlotte. You know, Ric Flair for a while lived in Charlotte. He used to like to go out and about in the area where I happened to be living. I was positive I saw both he and Hulk Hogan out at one point. This is many, many years ago. But
did
like
you see Ric Flair's video today?
I didn't. But I've seen more of Ric Flair than anybody should see, and we'll just leave it at that.
I believe you.
There used to be quite a lot of Ric Flair going around in Charlotte back.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, look, he had a 9-minute long interview today with TMZ.
Really?
And I mean, bro, you can't fake those tears.
Yeah,
they're strolling down his dang cheeks.
I believe it.
He talked about how when he had a 4% chance of living in the hospital 2 years ago. And Hogan is one of the very few people who went to see him. He talked about how his son was rehabilitating and their insurance wouldn't cover it. And Hogan paid for it out of his own pocket. Yeah. And Flair went to pay him back and he said, "No, you don't owe me nothing." And he was like, "I'm here for you." They were real friends.
Yeah. Oh, and it showed. It showed if you ever saw them out, out and about personally. But like you, have a child of that time frame. Hulk Hogan, wrestling when it came, and Hulk Hogan, and the spectacle of all of it, and the way in which people followed it, and all of it. At the very beginning, it really represented America in those days, right? I mean, when I think back at some of it is obviously nostalgia glasses, but some of it is not, right? Some of it was just a very different, as we always talk about the old folks here. I feel like this is the old folks' home when we talk about these things on these live streams. But if you had lived through it or you reflect back on it now, I mean, talk about American and the way he was portrayed. Always. Just a lot of fondness for that time for me personally, and for the joy that he brought then.
I was.
Nipan, you got anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I mean, I was a big WWF fan. I wasn't like a big Hulkster. He wasn't my favorite wrestler. Like for me, my wrestler was Ultimate Warrior. But to this day, the match I remember the most, the match that like had me screaming as a kid, was Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan when he beat Hogan. Yeah. And that is like, and not, both of them are gone. It really hits hard. That was, I just remember just how it was just, and I can't describe the emotion.
And they didn't like each other in the real world, but they were able to reconcile before Warrior died.
Yep.
And Hogan did that a lot. Mm-hmm. Hogan did a lot of reconciliation in his later years.
He came to terms that he was kind of a pain in the ass to people. Yeah. He didn't have a great reputation behind the scenes, and he wasn't the easiest.
He wasn't the easiest to interact with back when
usually
he was.
The top of the spear isn't, right? Michael Jordan was known for the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you're talking about Michael Jordan, he gets a pass from almost everybody. You know why? Because he's the greatest. So was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the Michael Jordan of wrestling. That is such a good comparison right there. That one hit home, man. That's you're absolutely correct about that.
Yep.
Let's see. Matt Deween said this in chat. I wanted to highlight it. It's weeks like this that make me really appreciate getting to see some of the Star Wars legends in person at ICCC. Yeah, whenever you're seeing these older stars from the 70s and 80s, it's special. It really is. One day William Shatner's going to pass away, and I will be able to remember being able to see him. Like, that's just special.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had been able to see Hulk Hogan. I never did. I bet people in chat probably have.
He was bigger than life even when he wasn't, you know what I mean, even later in life. He just had that. He just continued to have that personality. And some of it's a stage show, right? Some of it's a shtick. But if you ever when you meet him in person, I mean, he was just such a big personality.
Yeah.
And just such a genuine soul too. I don't know. It is a little bit shocking here. We've had you keep making the videos, and we joke every time Coach make a video. This week's I'm texting him, someone else died. I said, boy, you got to stop making videos. Stop making videos.
Every time I make a video, like right after somebody passes away, and I'm like, my goodness. So,
and then also on the music side, earlier today, maybe some people even mentioned in the chat, Chuck Mangione also passed away, known for one song. Everyone knows that one Chuck Mangione song, but he also parodied himself for quite a long time on King of the Hill. If you were a fan of that animated show at all, he would show up every now and again, making fun of himself. But a legend there also. So we've really had our share now for this week. No more.
Yeah. Matt DeWeen with a $5 super chat. With so many of our icons dropping right and left, can someone do a welfare check on Bill Shatner? I did not even see that he sent that super chat, and I was sitting there talking about Shatner. That's hilarious.
You're the same way.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely in trouble when he passes. That's going to be a very sad day. But look, that's what a lot of people are feeling for Hogan right now. Hogan's that big. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that. Sodak Chopper, member chat, I remember during the Gulf War, he visited my school on an Air Force base in Florida and got to give him a high five as a 5th grader. That is awesome. That is very, very awesome. Love that. Oh, my goodness, guys. What are we going to do? Nick and I, hey, Nick didn't believe me. I sent Nick a message. It was a screenshot of the TMZ article. And he goes, man, that crap's fake. No way. And I said, bro, he's gone. This is real.
Like 2 days ago that he was hospitalized or something.
And then there was conflicting stories. People trying to deny it.
Yeah.
TMZ sometimes is a tough sell on some of the more tabloidy things that they report on. Maybe you could argue that incorrectly reporting deaths falls in that category. But sadly, more often than not, when TMZ reports that someone has passed, they have seen or they have firsthand knowledge. And then, of course, everyone else started picking it up, and then Variety ran with it and all this. So I was like, yeah, when I texted it to Coach, I kind of had the same thing. I'm like, oh, it's TMZ. And then I searched around. I'm like, no, this is sadly true. So.
Yeah,
I was kind of refreshing, and then when I seen Wikipedia update, I referred to him in the past tense, and I was like, okay, that's it.
Let's check that out, D-Pain. Mike says, I was in the crowd for WrestleMania 6, Hogan vs. Warrior. It was such an amazing time for wrestling.
Dude, it was amazing to watch on a television in a trailer back in Michigan. I can imagine just being there in person, the energy, because I could feel the energy through the TV as a kid. Yep.
Absolutely. And nobody's even talking about him picking up Andre the Giant and slamming him.
Right?
Oh, that's right. He destroyed Gawker, too. That lawsuit with Gawker. Took them down.
Brandon's mentioning Gawker.
Yep. The tape. Yep. I never watched the tape. Wouldn't watch it if you paid me to watch it. I'm good.
But he did a number on them.
Well, good. Oh, my goodness. Yep. Legendary moment. Our friend Scott Westbrook sends in a super sticker. Scott, we sure do appreciate that, man. Let's see what did he send us.
It's the bowing fox. It's the bowing fox.
It's a bowing fox. It sure is. I see that little guy.
At least it wasn't a chipmunk, Coach. You're safe.
Hey. Easy. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead, and we just wanted to take some time at the top of the show and mention, all three of the losses, and there's been more. There's been more, but we wanted to mention those here at the top of the show today. The Hulk Hogan one has hit me the hardest for sure, but the show must go on, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a good one lined up for you guys. Let's go through this, and Nick will show up here eventually. So up first, more loss. Star Wars launch bay closing permanently at Hollywood Studios. Now, I might be completely wrong about this, but here's what I remember. I went to the launch bay, I don't know, a year ago, and it was already closed. There was nothing there. You could walk through at the outside part, and the posters were still there, but everything had already been moved, or what they were moving, to Galaxy's Edge. But a lot of the things that they had for sale in the launch bay, I could not find in Galaxy's Edge.
So you're thinking, yes. So you're thinking about the Outpost store. This launch bay here is actually where they had 3 meet and greets. One was Vader. This is the only place you could meet Vader.
No, I remember.
Okay, yeah, but they were never selling anything in there. It was just propping.
No, they did, bro. They had Sideshow collectibles at the very end of the museum tour. They had Sideshow collectibles. They had toys. They had lightsabers. They had life-size Kenner toys. They had a life-size Stormtrooper.
That happened since the last time I was in there. Because when I was in there, they never sold anything. They just had, propping and different things from the movies, from the original movies. And actually, they had Ray's speeder was in there for a minute too. So that's interesting. I didn't realize they had started to retail it up. But the thing about where it was is when Hollywood Studios opened as MGM Studios, this was always an animation. There was a tour. There was a working animation studio. You could take a tour, took you through. Animators were working. You could see basically what it took to animate a motion picture. And now they're regressing. They're going back to that. They're closing this down, and they're going to redo this whole courtyard, and they're going to bring back the animation courtyard, and they're going to bring over they did a film about animation not long ago. They'll be screening it here and just doing some fun interactive type things that have to do again with the reason why the park ever existed in the first place, really, on the studio side. It's just a little sad to lose whatever was left. Maybe nothing was left. Like I said, I haven't been there since February. But when I was there in February, they had the props and stuff was back. Just a little bit sad for original trilogy and some of these things that were in there.
That's where you would see the original trilogy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, littered.
Yep.
They had a bunch of the artwork in there.
Right.
Huge murals. You could go there and buy your Jawa juice. I can't remember if they called it Jawa juice, but you remember the little bar you could go in and buy you a drink there. And obviously, the focus has shifted towards Galaxy's Edge, I guess, but the launch bay was special. It indeed was special. Knee Pain, you ever been to the launch bay?
Nope.
I hear you. Well, you'll never go.
I was going to say, not really missing much now. But
the ship has now sailed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving right along. Let's see what else we got. Here we go. I've been seeing this image. Eamon Esfandi, who plays Ezra in Ahsoka Season 1. He has been posting some pictures. I don't know if there's a little video clip of him. So nothing really of note here. Just, hey, I'm in Ahsoka Season 2 and it's rolling. I mean, that's really about all we got right here. We're going to get him apparently with some lightsaber scenes. And that's about it. So anything we want to add here? Are we hyped up about Ahsoka? I don't think we are. But I'm going to watch it, and I hope it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still very curious to see where they're going to take the story. And there's been another picture that they've actually they did a montage at Star Wars doesn't have a huge presence at San Diego Comic-Con, but one of the things they did do sort of in the animation, they did a 20 years of animation, and in there they did a montage of the progression of Ezra Bridger, and they included an actual set picture of him, like looks like he's on a New Republic ship or whatever, that was taken from Ahsoka season 2. Short hair, not this, looks more like he does in the little reel he had done about lightsaber training. So I mean, it comes out, probably it'll come out after Mando and Grogu. So we have quite a while to wait before Ahsoka season 2 will be on. If I'd have to guess, they'll make it a end of 2026 release, and I'm just curious / nervous to see what they'll do with the story, especially because Ahsoka season 1 wasn't ubiquitously loved. Let's just put it that way, right? It was.
Well, I mean, look, how do you expect the fans to react when so many of the characters in your show come from the worst produced visual production in the history of Star Wars, Rebels?
Shame on you. trying to get a rise out of me. For shame.
Obviously, I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding.
Was it Ahsoka season 1 or was it Rebels season 5? I don't know which it was anymore.
Yeah,
Rebels
exactly.
Season 6.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Look, I got to take a moment to highlight D Spirit's comment here. I totally agree with him. This is why I collect vintage Star Wars and admire my figures and ships. I loved it all during my childhood, and all I have but my memory to remind me of better times and puts a smile on my face after work. Got to show you some pickups, D-Spirit, just in case you haven't seen them. I got to get this guy redone. He's yellowed, but here is a Storm Shadow I was able to pick up. And then I got some really, really, really cool ones that I know that you'll appreciate, like this awesome Snow Trooper right here. Everybody look at that.
He looks good in white.
Oh yeah, he does. He does. Got the Imperial Dignitary from the Power of the Force lineup. Was happy to get this guy. Very hard to get with his weapon, a Power of the Force, a Man, with a really nice staff right there. This is for those of you who do not know, this is a $350 figure. But the pieces that I was the most excited to get,
I know which ones are coming now,
were these two guys. Look at those boots, guys. I said boots. Look at those boots. They're so beautiful. So, anyways, I'll be sending these two guys in to have graded. Probably, I won't keep them both. I'll keep one. But high grades on these guys, we're talking about thousands of dollars, $3,000 or $4,000, if it is a high grade. So I'm really excited about the pieces. Man, it's always a good week when you're able to go get some toys, you know? Yep, no rubs. That's exactly right. What is up, Everscale? Good to see you, man. And if you're just now coming in, everybody, thank you for being here. We greatly appreciate it. Why is it still on me like this? All right, there we go. Much better. All right, let's move on. So up next, Liam Neeson makes a return to Star Wars again?
Poor guy.
I doubt it. I doubt it. And he kind of played coy with the interviewer here. Asked if he was going to make an appearance, and because there's so many, asked if he would like to train Anakin Skywalker, and he said, I'd love to. But he was just keeping his answers really short. Let's see. They asked him whether we'll see more of the Jedi Master in the future. And he said, talking about the
Kenobi season 2.
Yes, the spinoffs and Kenobi season 2. Oh, has it? There's so many spinoffs, so I lost track. And then he gave another funny answer. Do we think that we need to see? I don't. We don't need any more Qui-Gon Jinn. Having him as a Force ghost that one time, let that be it.
Yeah.
Oh no, Force ghosts are back in again, Coach. Look at Hayden and Ahsoka, right?
I know.
They're very much in
So if we get a Kenobi season 2, is he going to start making like a regular appearance now? Like he's Jiminy Cricket?
Well, be his character from Taken.
I'm your conscience.
I have a particular set of skills.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and moreover, there has been a bit of speculation about what story could they tell in Kenobi season 2, and I'm like, well, they could just what do you think they're going to tell? What happened to Reva? Maybe Kenobi takes her as a Padawan. Maybe Qui-Gon shows up and helps him train Reva. Be careful what you ask for. I never know what they're going to give you.
Yeah.
So
I did not mean to do that. I just clicked myself off.
Left.
All right. Well, got a couple super chats here that we want to hit. Graph Webb with a $2 super chat. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. Everybody but me. Thank you so much, Graph Webb. We appreciate it. But me, my butt's hurting from the fence. Not the colonoscopy that I'm getting. Anyways. Debbie Young with a $9.99 super chat. Hulk and I were born in the same year. All my youth is passing me by. I have been taking this hard. Hang in there, Mama Bear. We love you. You got this. Like it's, that's the thing that's the tough thing to remember is like when people pass, we want to celebrate their life as well. And hope that they're in a better place. So, but anyways, thank you so much, Debbie, for that $9.99 super chat and the package that you sent me this week. That was very, very sweet of you. We were all very excited. And then Sodak Chopper, $1.99 super chat. EBN. Everyone but Nick. Right so on bad. Schedule. Thank you very much, guys. We appreciate your support and your super chats and your member chats and all of that. We're going to go ahead and play this one for you. And thank you for your support.
Only on Disney Plus.
Well, and EPN.
and one last thing on Liam Neeson. I can tell you what I'll be doing a week from today, or a week and a day from today. We'll be watching Liam do his best Frank Drebin.
That's right.
You will for 85 minutes, won't you?
You better believe it. Better believe it.
Are you anticipating enjoying that show? Do you think it's?
I am. I was watching something I was struggling through the third episode of Strange New Worlds on Paramount Plus, and in between, because I have the ad version, they played some new little teaser for Naked Gun, which I had not seen, and it was just, he's there with his partner, and he's like, "Cover me," and the partner throws a blanket over his head, and he's stumbling around. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just exactly what I think it's.
They got to be careful. The movie's only 85 minutes. You're going to see the whole dang thing.
I wouldn't mind it. Right? Oh. But so I think. For the folks who have seen it, and then through the screenings and other things, I think they'll do what they need to do in that movie. And then Liam also has a PSA out: save the comedies. So he put a PSA out: save comedies, buy tickets, go and see this. So I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
Well, one of the things that we do here quite often is we talk about flopping, and.
Oh, this is great.
The word happens to be in the title itself. Star Wars Outlaws flopped because the brand itself was in choppy waters, says the Ubisoft CEO. In a roundtable discussion interview, he was asked about Star Wars Outlaws and basically blamed the failure of the Star Wars franchise for being the reason why his game flopped and did not perform the way that it should.
Do you see the tagline under the title, Coach? It says "Space Out" instead of "Fade In." They put "Space." I didn't notice that before.
Yeah,
That's great.
It's pretty good. Look, I think that there is some there's some truth. There's a lot of truth to this.
It came out right after the Acolyte.
Yeah, bad timing.
I will say I did some streams. I tried to play it. My critiques of this game had nothing to do with the Acolyte ultimately. It was horrid gameplay. It was buggy. I stepped away for 3 months, said, hey, I'll try it one more time, let some patches come out. You know, they released patches saying, hey, it's a better game now. I tried it for 15 minutes, uninstalled it.
Yes, so I was just going to say what Knee Pain is hitting on. They sort of had the trifecta of the problems here. Number one, it cost an arm and a leg. Remember, it was like $130. There was one version of this thing that cost $130, right? And then it didn't play well. It was buggy. People didn't really like the story much. And it came out at a time when people were very antagonistic about the franchise as a result of, what was going on after the Acolyte. But more than that, I mean, I just don't think it's that great of a game. I've yet to encounter one person who has said, "Oh, I love Outlaws."
Maria Espino didn't like Outlaws?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Only person I know
she broke up with us.
One person I know that was semi-positive about it, and that's just his thing. He looks at the best things as Matt Cave. He actually played a lot further than I could get in it. He liked the sneaking around, and he was enjoying it for what it was. But that's Matt too.
True. I love this Green Lantern 345, and the main character was woof, to quote Kevin from Home Alone.
Well, and I didn't even bring that part of it up, right? But I mean, yes, there was the amorphization. Is that even a word, right? They took that beautiful actress and they portrayed her in a way that was not so beautiful. In the game. So I mean, Ubisoft at this point is saying whatever they need to say to try and save what little face they even have left, in regards to the money they sunk on this and the way that it didn't perform from a sales standpoint. But there was more than one problem. There's definitely more than one problem with this game.
Yeah.
And I love open world games. That's the thing is I love open world games. I can forgive a lot. Days Gone had a lot of issues with it. I still could enjoy it for what it was. Horizon, same thing. Still managed to enjoy it. I could not force myself to play Outlaws through.
That's such a shame. Such a shame.
Now, Risman, I didn't notice this before. The San Diego Comic-Con schedule.
Yeah.
It's in our agenda, and I did not notice that.
Yeah, I popped it in just in case anyone cared. Like I said, I mentioned to you, I had it. I mean, just to give an idea of who's there and who's not there.
Yeah, today, Avatar, Percy Jackson, Twisted Metal.
Yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's, The Toxic Avenger. What are we doing? I'm interested in none of that. Zero.
Well, and so here's what I was going to say. What you'll notice here is a trend because neither Marvel nor Star Wars they showed up to Hall H. I think DC is there in some way, and Tron is a big one. Disney's bringing Tron along and some of the rest of this. But what you'll see here is a lot of Alien Earth. So you've got like Tron and Alien Earth, Predator Badlands,
Daryl Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
Predator Badlands, Tron Ares. That's the final one of the day. That's good. So that'll be good to watch. And then we got Saturday.
Paradise is here. Project Hail Mary, I think, will be a big one.
Demon Slayer,
and Rice got some play time. And then, of course, Sunday, the only thing they listed is our man here. Good old Georgie boy.
Oh, man, that's going to be interesting.
With Queen Latifah.
I guarantee you there's something for us to talk about when he's done.
Well, Doug Chang's going to be with him as well, and I think one other person. So, there'll always be, anytime Doug Chang gets out and says anything about the history of making things, I always find some nuggets in there that'll be worth talking about. Will he say anything about Star Wars at all? It wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't. But we'll see. Someone will ask him if there's a question and answer. I mean, depending
it's in
on
his
what the
code.
questions are.
He always mentions it. Like, he brings it up. Like, it's his example to everything. And they're talking about how visual storytelling has changed and adapted. They're going to be talking about Star Wars. Are we going to get any juicy sound bites? Anything that we could read into? Of course we will. And
I hope so.
Every talking head on YouTube will be doing this, analyzing his comments. But hey, we don't get to hear his comments very often. He doesn't say very much anymore.
Well, and I have also heard that, or it's been reported that people are going to start queuing up on Friday. I guess they're going to sleep in there or what? I don't know if even they're loud, but that somehow people are going to start queuing up on Friday to try and get into this Hall H on Sunday for this presentation, because zero of this stuff is being streamed officially. Now, I don't know what the rules are if someone showed up, you know what I mean, to take a video, and I don't know. I have no idea. But so we rely on people like IGN and This Is Games Radar and some of the other ones to sort of report on it for us. But yeah, so I don't know. Could you imagine queuing up and waiting 2 days? Wow. That's a lot.
Oh, Lord. Dan Grissom. Be careful at the Comic-Con. Arrest and human trafficking scheme. 14 arrested so far.
Yikes.
14 buyers. They're trying to buy a person.
Awful.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all going on now. And Star Wars posted an article. Again, their booth focuses on 20 years of animation. They've got a couple of posters for Maul Shadow Lord. They've got a well-hidden Ezra picture from Ahsoka season 2, and I think Dave Filoni was there. No, I think they have a statement from Dave Filoni, like, posted at the actual booth, talking about his tenure in animation and how important it was to George and yada yada yada. But that's really all of Star Wars' official presence at this convention.
Very cool. Neepain, any comments about that?
Nope.
I wanted to give you the chance. That one hit close to home, I'm sure.
Yeah. It'd be always interesting to be a Q&A and just been like, go with the microphone.
Are we going to get any type of live feed for this, Risman?
No. And this is one of those ones where, and I think that's part of the whole reason why people line up for 2 days or whatever. There's no other way to get it. They haven't brought back any live streaming of this event since that was really just a pandemic era thing. Ever since they relaxed all of that, they've made it all close. You can't even buy your side. I mean, I still wish that you could pay some amount of money and some subset of whatever they're doing would be streamed. You know what I mean? At one time they were doing something like that. They don't even do that anymore.
Yeah. So Adam is excited when he sees.
I put this in here just because I thought it was cool. Just because I thought it was
awesome, cool. Man. Look at that. A limited edition 2600 plus. Now, what is the plus? Do we know this?
I don't know anything about it other than it plays Pac-Man. I mean, it's Pac-Man skin. Yeah. I really didn't read it. I just thought it looked cool.
Well, so apparently it's got a Pac-Man collection to mark Pac-Man's 45th anniversary since launching in arcades. The 2600 Plus now comes in a limited Pac-Man colorway, including stylized joysticks, and an all-new Pac-Man game for the console. All-new Pac-Man game for the Atari 2600, yo.
It's a 2-in-1 called Pac-Man Double Feature.
A brand new 2600 game? For real? That is awesome. Now, look. Is it going to plug in with HDMI?
It does.
Okay.
It does. They
so.
clarify specifically that it has
Okay,
HD, because I wondered the same thing. So I read a little bit, and it talks about the fact that there is an HDMI connection.
Sean, it plays all the original cartridges as well.
Makes sense,
bro. Let's freaking go. Look,
and
I played Atari with that guy.
I know.
When we were like 6 years old.
And you can get those controllers are all wireless. You can get them in all different. They're making them all different colors, right? The ghost colors.
Yeah, Adam. I remember us playing Bird versus Dr. J in your bedroom. I remember. That's got me cracking up. That's ancient memory restored. Oh my goodness, dude! How much does this thing cost? $170.
And I don't know I think that includes a controller, and then if you want to get any of the other controllers, they're sold separately. I think for like $40, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
And then if you scroll down a little bit, it defines what's that Pac-Man game all about.
Brand new arcade style version of the classic. You could also play Pac-Man 2600, the very first home console release of the game. Now, look, I'll probably get... Ooh, look at the Ghost Edition joystick.
Yeah, I told you the joysticks are cool. You go all the way to the bottom, I think, and it'll show you all the different joysticks. Oh, I didn't realize there was a video.
Video! Oh, my goodness.
If it's making noise, we can't hear it.
Yeah, it's just music, you know.
But look, it looks cool, right?
Wireless joystick, double feature game card. Oh, that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
They should start loading all the games in these consoles, though. I mean, the games are so small.
Oh, they're the rest of them.
Yeah, just make them available. So you don't need the cartridges.
So, yeah, but there's workarounds for that, though, Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pre-order now, and it comes out. It comes out the end of October.
Every single time, so I just posted not long ago that I was looking for a modded Nintendo. If anybody out there has a Nintendo that I could buy that has HDMI and it has every ROM, every game, I'll buy it. I'm looking for that. Where you don't even have to have a physical copy of the games.
So I keep this little. We got this at Costco. Well, they have something at Costco a while back, like for $70. It's got like a bunch of. I don't think that's Pac-Man, but it's got a lot of Atari games. I keep this in my camper van.
That's awesome. Yep. Get bored, play some games.
And
Need
it's
Pitfall.
HDMI.
Oh yeah, a must. An absolute must for sure. All right. Well, and look, Pee-wee Herman just ain't going away, guys. Now, anyways, I can't pull up the article, but it doesn't matter. The Alamo has secured...
You can just continue without supporting coach down below.
Oh.
They don't like for you to do that.
I didn't know that was so easy. Oh. So, the Alamo has acquired the actual bike from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. One of the plot points of the movie, the main plot point, he's trying to get his bike back, and the fortune teller tells him it's at the Alamo. So he goes to the Alamo. The Alamo doesn't have a basement, all that jazz. Well, in 2 years, you're going to be able to go to the Alamo, and this is not for a limited time. This is for forever when they get it. Pee-wee's bike will be at the Alamo henceforth forever. That's pretty awesome.
Cool.
And it's moments like this. I mean, it really is moments like this where this happens.
And they give us Pee-wee Herman bikes.
some of my best work right there.
Love it. Better never go away.
It will never go away. Yep. Knew that was coming. Yep. So anyways, pretty cool there. You go to the Alamo in 2027, you'll be able to see Pee-wee's bike from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Okay.
I love it. I just had to because of the title. I had to.
What is going on here? We are getting a new Basic Instinct, and Sharon Stone may be back in it as well. That's what the report says. I don't know. Sharon Stone could return as her iconic character, Catherine Trammell. So I'm glad that's just a picture and not an animated GIF. Oh my goodness. Anyways, anything we want to say about this? Do we think this might be something that people enjoy?
So to me, the most interesting thing about it is Joe. I think it's Eszterhas. I think that's how you say it. He's the original writer. He's 80 years young now, and they brought him back. They brought him back. They paid him $4 million, and they said, would you write it again? Could you do it again? He said, I can. He said, but it's not going to be woke. He said, I'm going to write it the way I want to write it. He said, whatever you want to do with it once I write it is fine. He said, but if you want me to write it, I will. And so that's how this came to be. I don't know. Do we need a Basic Instinct 2? And if we do we need to have Sharon Stone in it in some way? Probably so, yeah. Right? I mean, I think she kind of has to be in it somehow. This was not on my bingo card, right? The original writer writing again, Basic Instinct 2 was not on my bingo card, period.
Well, actually, this is a reboot. There was a Basic Instinct 2 in 2006.
Oh, that's true. So this would just be a reboot then.
Yeah, this is just a straight reboot.
Yeah. For the modern audience, that's where I think he has a concern. He's like, I'm not writing it the way I want to write it. So okay. I mean, it's your thing. Please write it.
Does anyone even know what the plot was to the original movie? I don't either.
Barely.
I think it was very basic, Adam. That's all I got. I don't know. I tried to follow Basic Instinct and no one saw it. Went straight to physical media. Yeah. I don't know. Donna Hergenrether, did you notice that ICCC announced their first celebrity? The actress who played Dedra is scheduled. Rissman will be fighting to be first. Denise Go.
Actually, Coach, you sent it to me. You're like, I forget what you accompanied what you sent me with something. It's not appropriate for discussing here, but it was along those same lines.
I don't remember what I said, but I could imagine.
You said it to me in the morning. It was the first text that I read, and it said something happened in the morning and sent it to me. Anyway.
So if I send you 20 texts a day, and I don't, but some days I'm due, I'm sure. But let's say I send you 20 texts. What percentage of those texts would you probably be laughing out loud at?
I mean, I would say at least 7 out of 10.
I was about to say, oh! Good one. That's good. I walked right into that.
You sure did.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 is a great percentage. I'm a funny guy.
That's the only percentage we have here. At this channel.
That's right. Everything's a 7 out of 10. Oh, I'm so bad. 10. I really do it's 7. It's all the time.
It was okay. It's a 7.
Yeah. It wasn't great. I didn't hate it. Yeah. It's a C. What's funny is I'm out working on my disc golf game, and I'm working on throwing forehands, which I don't typically do. I throw everything backhands. So the guys that have been trying to help me get it down, I was like, do you think it's is my forehand like a C now? And they're like, yeah, C minus.
It's just like you watch Superman. It's okay.
So I haven't watched anything. Everything that's come out lately.
Fantastic Flop. I've seen some people that I know who've seen or watching Fantastic Flop, and they've been surprised. Like, wow, it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be.
So not bad, huh?
The bar is so low. The bar is so low.
You know, I might go see Fantastic Four tomorrow.
I'm planning to see it tomorrow, yeah.
It just came out today, right?
Correct.
For the general audience.
But a lot of people are going on. Well, a lot of people in our space have to go today because then everyone wants to start talking about it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. That's why we only have 59 people here tonight, because everybody's at Fantastic Flop.
Or they're hearing people talk about having been to see Fantastic Flop. One or the other.
I've heard some people say they liked it better than Superman, and other people say differently. So I think it's going to be like Superman. It's going to be 50-50. And
I think it will probably do better internationally than Superman has been doing. So I had said before, and I will maintain that I think Fantastic Four will perform better than Superman. Neither one are going to perform as good as Jurassic World. Jurassic World just continues to dominate at this point. But yeah, I'm going to see it tomorrow. But like I said, I've had some texts even while we've been streaming. They're like, "Wow, I just got out of Fantastic Four. I'm surprised. It's kind of good."
That's
Jurassic
awesome.
4 was a snore. Took the kid to see it. You know, he wants to see dinosaurs. I think I like Superman more than Jurassic. I'm not saying I liked it. I mean, more than Jurassic.
Two different. I mean, they're totally different films.
Yeah, they're totally different.
Right? I mean, other than their 4-quadrant, they couldn't be more different. Yeah. I'm with you. I think Superman's a better film than Jurassic World. I think I might have enjoyed dinosaurs eating what people were around to eat better than I might have enjoyed. You know what I mean? So
later, Adam.
Take care, Adam.
Superman is silent in the news, Dan Grissom says.
You know what? So a lot of people in our space have been talking about the international box office being soft. Today, either Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, they ran the same story. They're like, Superman struggling overseas box office or something. They actually ran the same story. You know, it's a problem when the trades start running in, and it's true. You can look it up. It's really performing poorly overseas.
Well, hey, where Superman fails, have no fear, ladies and gentlemen, because we got just what the world needs: a new Judge Dredd.
Oh, and you can click the continue again. Yeah, with our everyone's favorite director attached. Taika.
I will not watch this. I have no interest.
If it's not Carl Urban, I'm not interested.
Well, we know it's not going to be.
Yeah.
And now, to me, the only redeeming quality that I see here is that Drew Pearce is attached to write it. Now, will that continue? You know, these writers don't sometimes stick around when Taika is doing Taika things, or you know what I mean, creative differences show up and all that kind of stuff. But for now, Drew Pearce might help save this. But this is not a franchise this is not a high-performing franchise, putting it nicely.
At this point, the most interested I could get in this if they announce Rachel Zegler is going to be Judge Dredd. And I'm like, all right, bring it on.
No, Zombie Box Reviews probably nailed it. You know, they're going to cast Pedro Pascal as Dredd, right?
I would rather have Rachel.
Me too.
More amusing to tear to pieces.
I might go watch that because it would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Judge Dredd. Also, Kevin Feige.
This was so bad. This is so bad.
Yeah. So why did the last Captain America movie flop, Kevin Feige? And he literally says, because Chris Evans isn't in it.
He said it.
He said it. Like, he literally, those were his words.
Anthony Mackie. I have no problems with him. I feel bad. I think
Me
the
either.
guy is just...
He just doesn't need to be Captain America.
But I'm like, Kevin Feige, guess who could have fixed it so that...
Yeah.
that this movie didn't come out without him in it?
You're the chef.
Look,
you're the chef. The food was your responsibility. How do you screw this up?
Exactly.
So blame other people.
It's your movie. And if they had just made the movie Falcon and not Captain America, I don't think there would have hardly been any difference in viewership and numbers and what it did. The name Captain America is not a draw, especially if Chris Evans is not in it.
Yeah, they should have called the movie Incredible Hulk 2 and put the Hulk in it.
Yeah,
Mackie as a side character.
Exactly. And if they did not call it Captain America and they called it Falcon, what would they say then? It's a movie with Anthony Mackie as the lead, and people just aren't that interested. He's a side character.
And to make all this matters worse, right? Because he is ostensibly the leader of the Avengers. It was even discussed in Thunderbolts, right? We got the new Avengers with that whole crew from that movie, and we've got he's not having it, you know.
Which that movie was really good, by the way. Thunderbolt.
Yeah. But we've also now been told through an interview with Matt Shakman, or two things have come out now, that the leader of the Avengers and Avengers Doomsday is going to be Reed Richards. And his co-lead
he's the daddy. He's the daddy of them all.
And his co-lead is Thor. Right? So I don't even know what they're doing with this poor guy. You know,
well, Legion of All knows. It's definitely gotten out of control, and it's been that way. It's too big for him. He needs help.
Well, and so Feige did an interview, since they're not going to Hall H, Feige did an interview at I think Marvel HQ, or wherever they work, we're at the studio. And so all the reporters came in, and so they asked him a bunch of questions. And one of the questions that came up was about his tenure as president of Marvel. He has 2 years left on his contract. Coincidentally, his contract seems to run out around the same time as the second Avengers, so these new Avengers movies finishes. Of course, he could always produce it. But he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, he pulled a Tony Gilroy in a way. He's like, I'd like to go direct other movies. He basically said, I don't want to be the Marvel guy for the rest of my life. Right, because remember, he was involved with directing and producing Marvel movies before he was officially in this position. So I don't think he will be renewed, or maybe he'll be extended a year. But he basically told them, he's like, I'm kind of done with this. You know what I mean? And what does that mean? He's going to become? Everyone's like, oh, he's just going to move over and become the head of Star Wars. Then I don't think so. I think Kevin Feige wants to go out and make a whole bunch of different kinds of movies that has nothing to do with superheroes.
Good. Look, I think we need less superhero movies.
Well, we'll be getting them seriously. I mean, over the next few years, we're going to get like one a year, two a year. I mean, there's a Spider-Man movie thrown in there for good mix next year,
and it'll probably be great.
I think there may be two next year, Spider-Man and something else. And then it's like one a year, you know what I mean? Because he even said in that same interview, he said, we really went off the rails. He basically blamed Bob Chapek. He said, we really went off the rails when they told us quantity over quality. He said, that's something that we've never done before. He said, and we did it to support Disney Plus, and we shouldn't have. Right? I was like, well, yeah, you're just saying what all the rest of us know.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to, and that's fine, because there's a lot of other independent and different movies that are coming out that are neither Star Wars, that are neither DC, that are neither Marvel, that have been good. We've passed the time when those franchises carry the box office, because they don't do it anymore.
Nope. And it's like the studios haven't figured that out yet. They just keep forcing the issue. And
so I think personally that it's just a happy coincidence, right? His contract's expiring. He wants to do other things. And also, I think Disney's like, maybe we don't need a head of Marvel Studios anymore. If you're not making any content on Disney Plus, and you're only making one movie a year, maybe we just need it to be, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we just need it to be under, our movie arm. If you're not pumping out content, it's the same with Lucasfilm. right? These studios don't really need to stand on their own if they're only turning out a TV show and a movie a year.
Right. I agree. D-Pain?
Sorry, I was on a work call.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, you missed nothing.
I know.
You missed.
You missed Coach yawning at me rambling.
Do you like superhero movies, D-Pain?
When they're good.
Okay, there you go. Well, you just got caught up right there.
Yeah.
All right. Venger with a member chat. 53 months. Ever since I saw the movie first time in 1986, I wanted that sword. Now in 2025, I have a full-scale replica of the Kurgan's broadsword from Highlander. It's gorgeous. You know, Highlander is free on Plex right now, and I just about clicked it late last night. And I went to bed like a little old man instead. Tonight might be the night, but that might be a good watch party movie.
I was just going to say, also because I think the reason why Venger's mentioning it is in the SDCC panel schedule, there's a Highlander series coming out, right? I think maybe they're there because I'm trying to figure out why this chat came up. Maybe I think they have a presence at Comic-Con.
Yeah,
but yeah, that would be a good one to watch.
If you're wondering what I'm looking at Storm Shadow's legs.
Okay,
I don't. And
nice.
Isn't that cool? There's his
we're glad you're engaged on the stream.
Sorry, I'm distracted.
Yes,
and a broken, rotted G.I. Joe O-ring from 1984, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Thank you, Venture. And post pictures of the sword in our Facebook group. I'd like to see it.
Debbie Young Legion of Maul is saying it's the movie that they're rebooting. I knew they were rebooting something Highlander related.
There you go.
And I think they're at SDCC.
Debbie Young, $9.99 super chat. Just did a pre-sale check for Fantastic Four at work tomorrow, and there are very few seats left. The most of the day, and at late night are half full. Well, I'm sure it'll have good viewership this weekend. We'll see what happens after that. You know,
well, people are still out from school for a little while yet, anyway. So it might do some midweek business as well.
Hey, Coach Venger, have you seen the HasLab G.I. Joe classified series Snowcat? They're crowdfunding. No.
I've not seen it either.
My parents bought me the Snowcat for Christmas. That is a great toy. I do have the Snowcat driver back there in my case, but I don't have a Snowcat. I would not mind getting that. That's very cool. The HasLab stuff is so expensive, though. Ugh. I mean, crazy expensive.
$320. I can show it. $324.99.
Show me.
Let's see if I can put this up there.
Show me the Snowcat. If anybody's feeling generous, Coach wants a Snowcat. So they're crowdfunding this thing. We don't you might put in for it, but it might not happen. So that's the dangerous part.
Yeah, I was just going to see how much. Here it is.
Where they are in their goal.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I wanted.
All right, about to be Snowcat time. Ooh, that is so freaking cool.
It looks good, right?
It does.
21 days. Let's see. Does it say? Okay, where are we? Here's where we're at. Oof.
Ooh.
Looks like we're not even at 10,000 yet.
In how many more days?
21 days.
21.
Could get there.
Play the video.
Look, they're in the snow. Cobra troops. Get the Snowcat and get the Joes aboard.
That's the OG commercial.
Look, they're in the snow. Cobra troops. Get the Snowcat and get the Joes.
That's great. Let me see if there was something else that up at the top here.
Look, they're in the snow. Cobra troops.
They don't have their own.
Just the old commercial.
Oh, he's looking good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They did a good job at that.
They did.
Is it $324.99?
And it'll be huge.
Yeah, like so it's 21 by 11 by 10. That's pretty chunky.
Yeah, it's good size.
Yeah, it's gonna be big.
But like you were saying, Coach, this stuff is always it's always so expensive. Oh, that's cool.
Yep. They do good. All their HasLab stuff that they do crowdfunding for, stuff's so cool. You know what I really wanted of all the things that have come out in the last several years? I really wanted the Super 7 Cat's Lair from Thundercats. It's so big. Like, it's bigger than my Terrordrome.
Look at this. Cool. The dash lights up.
That's
kind of cool.
That's crazy.
That doesn't suck.
Yeah. Not meant to be a toy there for $350.
Oh, look, you can clean the windshield. What's going on? All right, so it only needs 8,000 backers to fully fund.
It only needs how many?
8,000.
And how many do they have?
I don't know. Usually you can tell how many. They. Here we go.
It was at the top.
Oh wow, 7,297. So it's going to hit 8,000, no problem.
Yeah, it looks like it.
What I looked at for 10,000 was the first tier. So this thing is gonna. If you are interested, this thing is going to fund.
Yeah, tier 1.
Yeah, so this will come with the vehicle, and it'll come with just that action figure that they've been showing off. Then if you get to 10,000, it looks like they'll add in a Lady J.
Yeah.
12,000, the Bivouac battle station, and 14,000 you get Flint and Arctic gear.
Lady
here's all
J.
that you get if everything funds. Here's everything you get.
Man, you could do a whole stop motion cartoon with all that stuff.
Sure could. How cool is that?
Yep, very cool.
Thanks to whoever brought that up. That was great.
So up next, Kevin Feige letting everybody know.
Still talking. He didn't shut up.
Mr. Ali is still attached to the MCU Blade reboot. All of those reports are false. Even the own words. I know I have read numerous times now. He says he doesn't know anything about it. Like, I don't know what's going on. It looks to me like Blade just doesn't need to happen.
So
they sure are jumping through a bunch of hoops to be able to do this, and like, is anybody even going to go watch this?
So here's the interesting thing. Here's the interesting thing about it. You know, in this article, he talks about the fact that they've had 4 scripts. They haven't liked any of them. 2 of the scripts were a period piece. 2 of the scripts were set in modern day. That Mahershala Ali has always been attached.
I'll be right back. Keep rolling.
Okay. And so where we ended up landing here was, you know, again, he basically said we were trying to make so much so fast, so we just didn't want to make a crappy Blade movie. So he said we decided to hold on it. And then he said something like, we didn't just want to put him in a leather coat and have him kill vampires. And I'm thinking to myself, well, isn't that what Blade does? I mean, that seems to define the movie that people want.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
that's what made Blade great. It wasn't overcomplicated. It's pretty straightforward.
Well, and that's just it. So I kind of agree with Coach at this point that it seems like, you know, it may not happen, but this comment, because they asked him directly, you know, and then he joshed about it. He said, well, you know, Ryan Coogler called up and he wanted our costumes for Sinners. And we said, sure, take the costumes for Sinners. We'll just put the movie on hold, because that really did happen. They used those period costumes in Sinners, were costumes that were originally made for Blade. So that tells you that they had at least progressed somewhat if they made period costumes for one of the scripts. And then, of course, when Mahershala Ali was asked in a Jurassic World interview, what's going on with Blade? Are you still in it? His response was, call Marvel, ask them. You know what I mean? So he gave sort of a snippy response here lately, but of course Feige was much more diplomatic about it. I mean, what do you think, Knee Pain? Do you think this movie ever happens?
I really kind of don't want it to. So Blade, for me, has one of the best, hands down, opening sequences of any movie hit the theater. I mean, that blood rave is freaking iconic. The song is iconic. I'll be late stage Alzheimer's. If you play that song, I'll remember being a Marine at the base theater at Camp Lejeune, watching that, loving it, going back and watching it the next day. That set the tone for the movie. It set the tone for like just, I'd say a lot of those Marvel movies. A lot of people say like, you know, Iron Man was the start of the MCU and maybe that generation. But to me, like what really kind of got Marvel going, some traction, was Blade. That movie, it was just awesome. And if you can't match that energy, that iconic opening introduction, don't even try. And it's a high bar. I think Blade, the opening sequence for Blade and Blade itself set a very high bar that a lot of Marvel movies did not hold up to. I mean, Iron Man did good. First Iron Man did really good. But I don't know. I have my doubts. I'm not interested in the reboot.
You know, this is I'm kind of with you now also. The more I hear him say, it's happening, we're still trying to get it right, we're trying to do all of these things. The less sure I am, that the more sure I become in a way that it's just not gonna happen. But you know, it's interesting that he's not ready to pull the ripcord just yet, it seems like. So I guess until that happens, we have to take him at its word. But this is one of the things that if it, you know, realistically, again, with their, like we were talking about, with their revised content strategy, if it did happen, when would it even come out at this point? You know what I mean? It's not like they're all of a sudden going to be able to finish it up and pop it out next year or 2020. So I mean, this thing wouldn't come out until 2028 or 2029, I would say, at the earliest, if it does come out. So to me, that's just still tantamount to saying it's not coming out. you know what I mean? So,
ain't happening. We're still on Blade.
Yeah, we just finished.
I'm killing Blade.
Kill it
by the power of Grayskull. There it is. Heroic new update. This is clickbait. There is nothing heroic about this update at all. But we did get a little 1986, 1982 style teaser. But that's all it is the logo, the music. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who wrote that music? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Somebody that surprised me.
I don't know. But I found, as we've been, one more came in, Coach. The sword. The sword is on display at I think the sword is on display at Comic-Con, so I can bring up his actual sword if you want to see it.
Sure. Let's see the sword. Another thing from yesteryear being brought back again.
And this is accompanied by an article. Mattel exec reveals the Masters Universe moment that gave him goosebumps on set. So apparently this I guess the exec at Mattel is a big Masters of the Universe fan. He's been on set, he's seen all the set design, and they've showed off the set design before also at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
And people were impressed with it there, but here I can play this.
Play it.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to probably have to share this instead.
Nice shirt, Knee Pain. I was part of that.
Yep.
it was so funny. Chris Gore was like, what would you wear to a funeral? But hey, if we can't see you down low, it don't matter. And I'm like, so I was like in boxer shorts and my suit.
There it is, Coach, in all its glory. On display at SDCC. He-Man sword. There you go. Gave the Mattel exec goosebumps. Doesn't look bad.
No, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope the movie's good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them, and I don't even know where it is from an overall production standpoint, but I'm looking forward to the fact when they can give us a little bit more, give us a teaser, give us a trailer, give us something other than the logo, the sword, him standing in a profile. And it's possible that after SDCC they will do that.
Yeah.
Just like also, by the way, the only trailer we haven't gotten that was rumored to come out with Fantastic Four is the new Fire and Ash trailer. So that trailer is due to come out publicly next week. But now if you go in and see Fantastic Four, what's screening with it is Predator Badlands trailer, which we have for later or for now. And then also the Fire and Ash, and then one other trailer that's already come out that they were supposed to be screening in front of that. I don't even remember what it is now, but it's out and we've already discussed it. So
where does He-Man fall on your memory, your fandom? Where does it rank for nostalgic purposes? Is it a high ranking? Is it mid? Or is it a low ranking? If Nick were here, he would already be saying, I love He-Man. All right. But I think Nick and I define love a little differently.
Is that why you have a complicated relationship?
Yeah, it's very complicated.
For many reasons.
Yeah. If you haven't, I'm not saying this is about Nick. I don't know. I'm just going to give you a hypothetical. Let's say you grew up with Masters of the Universe in 1982 and you loved it all the way through to the late 80s. You had the toys. You had the VHS tapes. You had books, comics. You loved the franchise. 1990s roll in. You're still a nerd. You still buy things. You still will buy Star Wars toys, or whatever. But you ain't bought a He-Man anything since 1986.
Yeah.
How much do you really love it? You might have loved it, but you don't love it anymore. You loved it. Now, it's just, still have good memories. I like it. I like He-Man, but I don't love He-Man. That's where I'm at. I grew up I had the castles, I had the toys, I watched the cartoon. I don't love He-Man. I saw a box of old Masters of the Universe toys at that man's place. The only one I was interested in buying was He-Man himself, but he didn't have any of his accessories, so I did not buy him. I would have bought the original He-Man, but I don't care about Man-at-Arms or Ram Man, one of the worst figures made in the 1980s, if anybody remembers what Ram Man looked like. So am I wrong for that? What do you guys think?
No, I have a fondness for He-Man, and I tried to love it again here recently, and a lot of people are bringing it up in chat, right? Remember Kevin Smith's take on He-Man, which aired on Netflix, was not universally loved, right? And so I don't think we've done a great job keeping He-Man in the zeitgeist, right? Keeping it current, keeping it out energized, if you will. And so, you know better than I, Coach, just out and about toy shopping. I don't even know if He-Man, I asked this question to my buddy who has young kids, and he says, yeah, the He-Man toys are still out and about. So somehow kids still know about He-Man, but I don't know how they know.
I don't know how they know about them, but the action figures have been there. They're called classic Masters of the Universe, and they're like almost the same molds, but they look different, and the coloring is way different.
Yeah,
like you could tell they're not 1982. The 82 figures look better to me, but I don't know how people still know about He-Man. Like, what are they watching? YouTube? Are they going to YouTube and watching complete episodes?
Maybe they're watching classic He-Man. I don't. Having said all that, though, I think there's a chance. Well, there's always a chance. I think there's a better chance than we are thinking there will be that this movie actually will be good.
Yeah. Real quick, just 10-second challenge. Rissman, give me 5 things from childhood that you liked more than He-Man.
5 things. Thundercats, Transformers, Voltron, Star Wars.
Yes.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
I agree with you on every single one of those.
I might have even picked Smurfs, to tell you the truth.
I might pick Alvin and the Chip. Never mind.
No, don't. But you know what I mean? And again, it's not that I didn't watch He-Man when it came on. I don't mean to say I didn't, but if you're asking me to rank how I would prioritize watching, if I even would at that age, we just watched everything, right? Yeah, I just did it.
Many cartoons and shows that come on in the 80s. I mean, we had a lot to pick from back then. And frankly, when you kind of look back on a lot of them, like when they pull them up on YouTube, like, oh, I remember this, you start watching it, like, wow, that was really cheesy.
Well, Scooby-Doo would probably be above He-Man, to tell you the truth.
I would agree with that.
But one of the things that we all remember that maybe people don't know, He-Man was created for the toys, right? You know what I mean? There was that weird relationship. The toys created He-Man. It wasn't that He-Man came first and then the toys happened like some of these. I mean, so it just always was a very weird thing.
But that's what the 1980s was about. Like almost every cartoon, all those big ones that we just named, they were creating characters for the toys.
Yeah.
Like it was a toy-driven thing, and I get it. Nobody buys toys anymore.
Like I remember like the laser tag toys. Remember they released a laser tag show, and I was like, what is this about? Right?
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I got my laser tag set, like, couldn't tell me nothing. It was great.
You know, it became obligatory, right? It's like, oh, we got to put some kind of a show together, you know, even if it doesn't work out. Now, again, I'm with you, Coach. I have a fondness for He-Man, but it's not a ride or die.
No, it's not. And I don't know, to be fair, I don't know how many of those franchises that you even named, Rissman, that if they do a movie that it might be good. Voltron, we'll see. But I have no faith that they can make a G.I. Joe movie.
Well, they did. They tried.
I know. It was horrible.
Let's not talk about Snake Eyes.
All
that
bad.
Broke my heart.
The Baroness was the best part of Snake Eyes. But again, it was not a good movie.
I hate to say it,
no. And Thundercats? Please don't ever give us a live-action Thundercats.
Oh, no. Transformers was better than G.I. Joe,
and it wasn't that great. I mean, it was...
It's at least
I would say 2 good movies.
I could rewatch most of the Transformers over rewatching any of the G.I. Joe movies.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've also, when we talked about this before, right? But we've also done a much better job of all of them keeping Transformers going than really any of the other ones I rattled off, if you think about it.
Yeah. And we're about to get a Voltron movie.
That's so weird, Coach.
Kids are going to be like,
what's this?
What's a Voltron?
Yes.
And people our age are going to be like, yes, Voltron.
I just don't.
And I'll form the head.
And the coach will be the cheeks.
Did you like? You're wrong for that, Rissman. You're wrong. All right. Predator Badlands is our last thing. We want to look at the trailer. and see what it's all about.
'Cause I want to get you all's opinion of this trailer.
Yeah, let me. I want to share the audio with it. All right, ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Predator Badlands, ladies and gentlemen.
So this is your first hunt. You've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
That's kind of weird.
It's so
That was
weird.
weird. That was very weird.
Just the way she appears there in frame. Weird.
Yeah, she's not afraid of the Predator at all.
Oh.
Zero.
No?
You're after a creature that
She probably doesn't need to
can't
be.
be killed. The definitive apex predator. I could help you.
This is kind of funny though.
Well, good luck with your journey.
For the copyright.
Look at these, like 3PO. He's 3POing her.
Yeah.
You're not the predator. You're the prey.
You know they had to have that line in the trailer.
Yeah. And what is that coming out?
I am prey to none.
We might not be alone in this hunt.
And then this.
Dude.
You bitch.
Oh, please don't.
Is Ripley inside that? What's going on there at the end?
I think it looks pretty decent, man. Like,
So do we think they've done any better with the way the Predator looks in this trailer? Because for me, in the original teaser, the Predator was looking a little weird, and I didn't expect there to be any comedy in this really at all. And I guess there's some comedy now. But I mean, what do you guys think of that? Yeah, I mean, it's just not what I thought it was going to be at all.
knee pain.
I'd have to wait and see. Like, so are we going to see a Predator that can actually talk, or we get full subtitles? Because
Yes. He had a line. I'm prey to no one.
And they talked in their own language.
They do.
Well, they talk
in
their own
the
language,
animated
but-
thing as well.
And in the Android can understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked that one Alien Predator one where they're down the ice and they partner with the woman, and he's kind of they communicate in very primitive ways. I kind of appreciated that, like just not knowing the language.
Yeah.
This I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I guess I could be wrong. Maybe it turns out to be better than I expected, but we'll see.
The thing that I found interesting here is it makes sense for the synthetic to understand him,
Yeah.
but he seemed to understand the synthetic somehow.
Yeah.
Because she said, "Here, you're the prey," and then he answered in his own language, "I'm prey to no one." Even in the animated thing they just put out, they had like a translator device.
He probably
they were
has something
using.
like that. We just didn't see it.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe they'll
so.
explain it.
Want
and
some
they might-
candy? Like he.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, nothing
Look.
about it makes me not want to go and watch it. It's just not what I expected.
Well, the chat always gives the best feedback. So they're making the Predator into an action hero? Question mark. The Predator is the protagonist, says John Riley. That is the part that is the most weird.
And yeah,
They flipped the script now. Now they've made the Predator the good guy. You know, when in all the other Predators, everything, the Predator was always bad guy. Now he's the hero of the movie. That's going to be different. Now, this I think is cool from Venger. That's an adolescent predator, the actual runt of the pack. That's badass. I'm a sucker for an underdog story. So throw that in there. All right. I'm buying that.
Like a teenager or whatever. Yeah.
And I have to assume whatever this planet is where the predator is there to make his first kill, blah, 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 is a planet that Weyland Yutani is on for some reason also, and that's why she's there, and that's why you see him fighting all those people. You know what I mean? I think it's happenstance that they must end up in the same place, other than she was put there to help him and blah, 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 blah. So again, I like that they're combining that, a little bit more, significantly or overtly. We just seem to be getting a lot of synthetic stuff lately, especially with this Alien Earth stuff coming.
There's
in August.
Whole freaking team of them.
But and they're weird.
Not synthetics, but they're
are synthetic. Well,
hybrids.
Timothy Olyphant's is synthetic, and the other ones are hybrids. And then so that's August, and it'll go on for a minute. Then this thing comes out in November. You know what I mean? It's not that I don't like that. It's just a lot all at once, and the two things will be held to each other's standards. You know what I mean? They'll be compared. And everything I've been reading about Alien Earth, FX spent Shogun level money on, they spent $250 million, I think, on Shogun. They filmed Alien Earth in Singapore and Thailand, and they spent a big amount of money.
So I should still go back and watch Shogun?
Oh, absolutely. Very well done. But FX, they wanted to make something very adult, and they were not afraid to spend on it. They wouldn't, in the interview, they wouldn't say how much they spent on it, but they spent a lot of money on that series. So it's going to be, which is great. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying, comparatively speaking, I hope they're both great. I know one's Alien and one's Predator, but still.
The Predator was the villain in Predator 1 and 2. Wasn't it?
He wasn't a nice guy.
Like, if he wasn't, who was the bad guy? Crazy Willie? King Willie? I don't know, man.
This is just one of those franchises. We just talked about things that we hold precious from our childhood, right? It doesn't get more precious than Alien and Predator. When you're talking sci-fi that sort of epitomized the good old days. So I'm always a little sensitive when these things come out. All right, Coach needs to go to bed.
Man,
we're clearly keeping him away.
It's an interesting point, though. The Predators, like in 1 and 2, right? They weren't really there like villains in our typical movies. The villains there were to conquer, to control, to like overthrow power. The Predators were hunters. They're on they're performing a ritual for their species, to hunt, and so they really want to try and like conquer anyone. So I
think some of us are getting our terms confused. Antagonist doesn't mean bad guy. It means character that goes against, that is in opposition to the main character.
Yeah,
an antagonist could be a good guy. The antagonist in Predator was the Predator.
Yeah,
Arnold was the main guy.
You can only say Gary Busey was the villain of Predator 2.
You could say that. Yeah.
Well, and I think the antagonist in this movie is the big creature that can't be killed, or whatever it is that he's hunting, and also Weyland Yutani. I think they will be, as usual. Those will be the villains that are set up in this, and then I think, the protagonist will be half a synth, and this predator youngling. So.
I ain't got time to bleed. Oh my goodness. That's one thing that I wish that we never got as fans. With all this nostalgia bait, with all this people returning to a role for the first time in 30 years, it happens all the time, every year. we never got Arnold back as Dutch or Conan.
Yeah.
And that was a lost opportunity. You know, we got Rambo 17, but we never got Arnold back. And I wish we could have gotten one of those.
Yeah.
If you had to pick, if Arnold could have came back 10 years ago and made a great movie, would you want a Conan sequel or a Predator sequel?
For me, it's Conan.
Me too. And I like Predator more as a movie. I just think that Conan would be an easier movie to make well. I don't think... Yeah. I don't know, man. It's hard to make a great Predator film.
As we've seen.
Yeah.
As evidence. Although I will go back and rewatch Prey before I watch this Predator Badlands, just because, again, I watched Prey one time, wasn't really feeling it. I need to go back and give it another chance. But I guess we'll see.
So you're talking about, what was the name of that one?
Prey.
We just knew it was going to suck. And then me and Nick watched it and we were like, that was actually pretty good.
And see, that's what I mean. I'm like, I didn't like it at all. I need to try again.
I mean, if you didn't like it, man.
Well, but sometimes you watch something, you're not in the right frame of mind, or something else is going on, or you know what I mean? You can associate other things with not enjoying something sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'll give it another try, sometime between now and November, whenever this thing comes out.
No, it didn't. You suck. I'm just kidding, Greg.
What we got here? We got Shogun. What is Shogun saying? Shogun order for 5. I chalk up Ellie Fanning's reaction to the Predator because she's a robot replicant like Ash and Bishop. It's the eyes. Well, she's definitely, she's definitely a synth.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just programmed to help. Maybe she just wants to. There's something more going on there.
Her primary objective is probably the death of that creature.
Probably.
So she befriends the Predator to help. And so she's actually helping the Predator getting it done.
Because I bet you that Weyland Yutani is trying to get that creature off the planet so they can use it for whatever they want to use the planet for, right? Yeah. So that's why I say I think ultimately they line up, but then they're going to see the Predator and they're like, well, we don't want you here either, right? So one thing will lead to another.
So look, are you guys watching? Are you in the middle of watching anything new for you right now? Chat, same question applies. I am watching Mr. Robot, and I'm watching the season 1 finale tonight.
Nice.
Never seen it before. This is my first time through. I have really enjoyed it.
I thought you would. Well, you may not like how it ends, but I thought you would like it.
Okay. All right.
And I'm just about to watch start the series called Red Eye that just came out. It's on Hulu, or you can get to it through Disney Plus if you have Hulu. But it's another one of these where obviously they're on a flight and something happens, and they have to figure out what's going on this flight. Obviously before they land. Similar to Hijacked, I guess. I don't know that necessarily the flight's hijacked, but I've tried not to spoil that myself on it. Recommended it to Star Wars Mom, and she's hooked. So that's my next watch is this thing called Red Eye. It's a British show that they've already renewed for a second season. So it's one of these that it's done on ITV or whatever, and then it's resold through Hulu and put up a little bit later. So there'll be a second season. So I guess that's okay.
Awesome. Knee-Pain, are you watching anything besides nature?
I'm just wrapping up rewatching SGU, and I was going to rewatch Stargate Atlantis. I'm just kind of watching classics right now. I haven't really been picking up any new shows lately.
Yeah.
When I work, a lot of people like to listen to music when they work. I don't. I actually like to listen to shows that I've seen before, not new shows. New shows will distract me because I want to watch it. I like to put in shows like I know I enjoy and I like. And that's kind of my music when I work, actually. And so now, like right now, my music's coming up is going to be Atlantis. I want to rewatch Stargate Atlantis.
I've never watched any of the Stargate shows.
I don't think I have either, to tell you the truth.
But I know they had a big following.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
Funny story. Nick and my parents took me and Nick to go watch Stargate in 1994. And Nick fell asleep in the theater. And I was like, that movie was awesome. And he was like, really?
0 out of 10. I was fell asleep.
Freaking fell asleep. No Stargate. Geek cards revoked.
I saw that.
So I might need to go back and watch Stargate Atlantis when I'm done with everything I'm watching.
I think you'd want to start with SG-1.
There's a lot of things. Like, I never watched Babylon 5. There's a lot of things that people swear to that were great. Look, I mean, I went so many years not watching anything because I was coaching basketball, guys. I didn't have time to watch a show. It's just, I couldn't do it. When I was coaching high school basketball, it was over. Got you, Marks. I'll do that. Very cool.
Watch SG-1. I don't know. It's been so long ago. I'm sure I watched some amount of it. I'm sure I watched.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us, guys. We're right at the 2-hour mark. Nick did text a few minutes ago. He said,
hurry up and then before he shows up.
Having issues, still working, you guys still going. And I'm saying wrapping up. Wrapping up.
Yeah, and let's wrap up. Otherwise, he'll show up.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something.
You're exactly right. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Knee-Pain, you want to tell everybody not to subscribe to your channel?
That's right. Please don't subscribe. Please don't follow me.
I love it, man. Yes, Nick has been removed. He is now gone.
He's over at Matt Cave Gaming. I don't know.
He's at Matt Cave Gaming.
I don't know what he's got going on, but he's over there in the chat. Yep. So
he's given Matt Cave hell for playing something besides Final Fantasy VII, I'm sure.
He's gonna have a new channel here, the Final Fantasy Purist. And
oh my goodness, where he has to F-bomb every 7 words.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yep. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for being here. Again, we started the show off in a little remembrance for Hulk Hogan, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, and Ozzy Osbourne, and all the other people that have passed away this week. Very sad, and but you know, we'll keep the fires burning here at EBN and going through this stuff every week. And Nick and I'll be getting some content. Just jumped in here, just finished up. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you guys.
Yeah, play the outro. Play the outro.
That was perfect timing.
Told you we had to hurry up and get the album.
Sheesh, you weren't kidding. He can go to Matt Cave Gaming.
He's already over there in the